G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well and I hope you're ready for another cocktail. Tonight's cocktail is inspired by one of the more significant filmmakers of the last 20-30 years, Quentin Tarantino, because March 27th is actually Tarantino's birthday. And yes, I know guys who were obsessed over Quentin Tarantino can be very, very tiresome. Not really obsessed about him, but he has made some really good films. I like a lot of his films, and he's made a few that I think are unquestionably masterpieces. But I'm not going to drone on too much about Tarantino. Just point out that I found a cocktail that was named in his honor. It's called a Pulp Fiction of, what was that? Was his second movie and one of his biggest hits. And the original recipe for this actually called for apple pulp in the cocktail. The recipe on the different sites said to just use cloudy apple juice. And I'd normally go the easy route, but I just thought, you know what? Hell and damn, I've been using this a lot in the kitchen, the little handheld whizzy thing, blender, I suppose we'll call it. That's what professionals in the kitchen call whizzy things, blenders. I might even use this like for crushed ice in cocktails at some point. But I'm going to do this. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've just chopped up an apple, the apple of your choice, because again, with all the different apples in the world, it's going to have a different flavor depending what apple you use. First thing I'm going to do is pulverize this apple somewhat, and I'll probably spare you from the audio onslaught. You know what? That didn't work. I think the blending stick needs liquid. So what I'm going to do, rather than use this, I'm going to tip the apple into this huge beer stein I've been using to make milkshakes, and I'm going to add the actual drink elements to this and see if it blends then. First up is brandy, the brandy of your choice, whether you use a brandy, cognac, armagnac. I am using an Australian brandy from 23rd Street Distillery, not your Nana's brandy, and it is 2 ounces of brandy going in. The recipe also calls for 1 ounce or 30 mils of an apple liqueur or apple schnapps. So if you have something along those lines that you like, throw that in. I'm using this one that I have. This is a French apple liqueur called Le Velours. And it actually has hints of walnut as well. It's really nice. And this is what I'm going in. But you go with like an apple liqueur or an apple schnapps if you have that on hand. I'm using this one, just 1 ounce or 30 mils. That's it for booze elements. So I'm going to see if that is enough liquid to actually get some blending action happening with the apple now. I got there in the end. I actually had to add a little bit more liquid. This drink is intended to be topped up with a lemonade or lemon lime soda, like Sprite, 7-Up, depending where you are in the world, what you call it. So I actually added a bit of lemonade to give it more to work with, and that's all blended up. Now I'm going to strain it into a glass, and I'm most certainly going to fine strain this. So fine strain that into a tall glass. You could use a Collins glass. I'm using, I guess this is a Pilsner glass, and with whatever space is left at the top, just top it up a little with lemonade. And there we have a Pulp Fiction. I'm just wondering if I should stir this a little, or if that's going to be a disaster. I've got a real mess in front of me. Just out of camera shot, trying to keep it all neat so you don't see it, but there's a mess. Put my Gaz Regan's finger in there. Oh, I am so gonna... No, I managed to do it without any disasters happening. Just give it a little bit of agitation. Thanks, guys. So, there we have it for Quentin Tarantino's birthday, a Pulp Fiction. And I went to all the trouble of making it with actual fresh apple pulp. I hope you appreciate it. I hope I appreciate it. What's it going to taste like? Tastes really good. I feel like I should have had a Quentin Tarantino quote in there. Maybe Jules going, "Can I have some of your tasty beverage?" I kind of feel like Quentin Tarantino should maybe have a drink that's more hardcore than this. This is incredibly light and refreshing, and I really like it. I'm at the tail end of summer here in Australia as I make this. Still nice enough weather, but this really feels like sit by... Oh, I had a garnish. Sorry, I was just going to say something about sit by the pool, have a little paper umbrella. Look, I went to the trouble of a garnish, an apple slice. Look, if that doesn't say summer, that is just... Although, yeah, maybe apples belong in autumn. I don't know. It's light. You've got the obvious sweetness from the apple in there, but there's no sugar syrup, so it's not too sweet. This is actually quite good. And of course, if you wanted to have it with a bit more kick, maybe you do it straight up. Like, don't put it on ice, don't add the lemonade to it, just do what did I put in there? Brandy and apple liqueur and apple juice, like fresh pulped, or yeah, just get some bottled cloudy apple juice if you don't want to go to that much hassle. Because I very rarely want to go to that much hassle, but I did today, and I'm very much enjoying this drink, so I might take that off because it keeps hitting me in the face. It's going to be like a meal to go with it. So yes, the Pulp Fiction, a really light, refreshing drink. Definitely recommend it. And yeah, actually, if you think there should have been something else for Quentin Tarantino, I'd love to hear from it in the comments. And I'd love to see you again. Hit the little notification button or subscribe. Hit the notification bell, then you know when I upload videos, as I do 2 or 3 times a week. I would love to see you again soon. So continue to explore the very wide world of cocktails. Until I do see you again, I hope you stay well. Hope you get the opportunity to take care of people around you as well. But until I see you again, I will say cheers.